Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 4 of our ongoing Terraria series. Before we left off, and we still are, during the middle of a blood moon, which we mentioned, it's a good opportunity to try, let's heal up here, and farm up a couple more lenses. What I'd like to be able to do this episode is explore the Crimson a little bit, which a lot of you might not even have in your world. You might have something instead that's called the Corruption, where everything is purple, but they're functionally very similar. But anyway, the reason why we need to go exploring there is they contain an altar. Demon altar for the Corruption world, and I don't know exactly what the Crimson world is, because I actually haven't had the luxury of playing in a Crimson world yet, so it'll be an adventure for me too. But we go there. Let's run away. Shoo! No! I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Okay. There we go. So, the reason... Oh, so many zombies. There we go. So, let's take care of that raven. Being problematic. Alright. Alright, good. It's daytime finally. Anyway. Where was I? Okay, so we want an altar so we can craft these lenses that I've gathered into a suspicious-looking eye, which we can use to summon the first boss you'll likely fight in your Terraria career, the Eye of Cthulhu. The reason we want to do this and fight Cthulhu is he drops a lot of ore, so we can get started on better gear, although eventually you'll have to fight the boss that's specific to either the Crimson or the Corruption, which hopefully we'll get into a little bit after Cthulhu. So, while I'm healing up, I'm going to drop off some stuff, because you always want to have room for important things. I actually don't need 2 raincoats. Alright, let's see what all we got here. Platinum bar. So, I'm going to put ammo and whatnot over here. So, a hasty shackle. It's not a lot, but plus 3 movement speed, you know. Every little bit counts. Let's throw some potions in here. I'm going to keep the healing potions at all times nearby. Drop off the iron ore and my gems. Alright. And I don't need this anymore, so I can sell it to the merchant as well. So, I'm still healing up. I really don't want to go into the Crimson at anything less than full health, because I'm still not really well geared up for it. I think I'll be able to survive, but more health only makes that a better more likely. So, I figure, in the meantime, hopefully, in exploring the Crimson, I'll get a new weapon, which will in turn unlock a new NPC. If I want the NPC, that means I need a new home for the NPC. So with this in mind, let's kill off the slime bunny rabbit here. There. So with this in mind, I'm going to build a couple extra homes. Since I've been gathering a lot of pumpkin, I figure let's be festive, and we'll make one of the homes out of pumpkin. So, without further ado, to each their own, I tend to like building skyscrapers. Basically, later in the game you get much better mobility, so it's not really an issue. But, let's see what we got here. Pumpkin platform. No, I don't need a pumpkin platform. Ha! Pumpkin wall. Should be enough. And because I want to go all out, we're going to put a couple of pumpkin doors up here. Pumpkin chairs. Always good. A couple of pumpkin tables. Don't need a workbench. And we're going to get... Do we want a hanging jack-o'-lantern? A jack-o'-lantern? We're just going to go with basic hanging jack-o'-lanterns. Nothing too crazy. Just crazy enough. And of course, a couple of pumpkin platforms. Alright. And now I don't think I have enough pumpkin to build this, but we will do our best. Maybe I'll have just enough. Ha! Ladies and gentlemen, we have a pumpkin dome. Whee! Mine up here. So, I'm just quickly building 2 new homes for the NPCs. Nothing... just a second here. Unfortunately, I put the wood wall up a little too high, so I need to make a hammer. Better hammers move faster, but hammers can be used to make half blocks for waterfalls, which I can show you later when we do more sculpting. Also in patch 1.2 and above, so I think you console folks might not have that feature. But hammers are used to remove walls. So let's just clean that. There we go. Don't want my other 2 NPCs to all of a sudden become homeless. Alright. Pumpkin table. It's kind of a cool door. It's like an extra tall pumpkin. I like it. Pumpkin chair, and pumpkin table. Where to go? There we go. Put up our hanging jack-o'-lantern, or jack-o'-lantern. So, and background. So, when we're all said and done, we should have 2 new homes for probably the demolitionist and hopefully the arms dealer to move in. So, in Terraria you can get firearms, and one of the first available firearm sources can be gotten from your respective corruption or crimson biome. So, and we'll talk about that as we go in. But once you have a weapon with ammo and a home, an arms dealer will move in. So it's just a matter of getting all the requirements met, so you can get new NPCs. And there's a slime up there. So, but my health is now at full. Daylight's burning. Without further ado, actually, the demolitionist should be here soon. But without further ado, let's go to the Crimson. Oh. Did you forget to turn off the water? Why, yes, I did. It's going to be hard to make an Eye of Cthulhu if I don't have the lenses. I need 6 of them, so let's go. So I was looking up a little bit online last night about the difference between the Corruption and the Crimson, since I haven't played the Crimson before. The enemies are slightly different. Those water walking boots are really useful. The enemies are a little bit different, not massively. The big difference is the layout is quite a bit different. So, in the Corruption biome, there's a bunch of massive holes in the ground, and you kind of fall into these pits of death. Apparently the Crimson, which we'll explore, is more of a central cave with spokes, and there are spiders instead of other enemies. So, to me though, this looks... I guess I can make this... actually. Again, any good spelunker, always give yourself a way down and back up, more importantly. There we go. So, we're lucky. I was able to find what I needed without finding any enemies, and a chest. Climbing claws. Ah! The nurse has arrived because I have enough health. She will heal you for a fee. So actually, I probably need to make quite a few new NPC houses. But these altars here, if I hold shift over, a hammer comes up. You can't break them until you enable hard mode. Doing it now will take half of your health away and eventually kill you. Half of your current health, I should say. But if we look down here now, I can craft a suspicious looking eye. Summons the Eye of Cthulhu at night. So now I just have to get ready to fight the Eye of Cthulhu. This is your first boss, and you're often at this... Also, I don't have a pickaxe powerful enough to mine the Crimson, so all I can do is spelunk and explore. Not a bad thing, but... Cthulhu is normally the first boss you'll fight. You can skip Cthulhu and go straight to the Destroyer of Worlds / the Brain of Cthulhu. Basically, your respective corruption biome boss. But I would generally recommend it. Actually, that's probably not the best option. I would recommend it. Okay, so here we get to see one of the creepiest. Okay, this guy is not only scary, he's painful. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, you've just seen your first monster from this mode. The face monster, scary as hell. I'm getting attacked by a spider. I don't like those. They have a fair bit of health. Just gonna keep lowering this rope so I can get down and up. Alright. Without further ado... Oh boy. Ha. Okay. I was able to catch on, but this might be the end of me, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe not. Okay. Ah! So it dropped a vertebrae. Kind of useful. Vertebrae are used for crafting the item that summons the Brain of Cthulhu. Morbid, I know, but... There you have it. Oh, hey look. I'm in luck. Oh, that's a trap. I don't really want to... There we go. So I'm just kind of exploring a little bit around my area, seeing what's out there. I don't really see much that's... There could be all sorts of things down there, and I probably will explore it better later. But right now, I'm more interested in just kind of getting the lay of the land, seeing what's out there. Picking up silver ore along the way, of course. Okay. So this is actually something really nice about this flare gun. It makes scouting a lot easier, except for when you run out of ammo. You can buy more ammo from the merchant, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. And that is a Chimera. Huh. So, Crimson Chimera. Okay. It flies around, it chases you down, it's an all-around pain in the rear, but there you have it. Hey, that was apparently a topaz. Go figure. And this is probably where I die. Run away! Okay. So, we will come back here and explore some more when we're a little bit better geared up. But as you can see, this is a bit harder than some of the other... You know, we're just going to keep exploring until we die. If I can, I'd like to show you guys... Aha! There we go. You see that funky heart-like thing? In the corruption, it's actually a glowing purple ball, which somehow feels a lot less creepy. But if you destroy those, and since I can't mine, I brought a bomb for the purpose. Blow up. There we go. You can destroy these. If you destroy 3 of them, you will summon a boss, which, unless you're prepared for, you really don't want to do. But every time you destroy one of these, they always drop a couple items. You need a hammer to destroy it. Horrible chill goes down your spine. That means, well, it's first a horrible chill, then there's another message, and then either the Destroyer of Worlds has awoken or the Brain of Cthulhu has awoken. It's a boss fight. It's the second boss you will fight, so it's not something to be really hyper afraid of or anything. But, again, most bosses, if you're not prepared for them, you're going to have a bad day if you just randomly summon them. However, from that orb... First we'll heal up. They're called shadow orbs in the corruption. I didn't take a chance to look at it. It looked like a heart, so I'm going to call them the creepy hearts. It dropped the Undertaker. and it dropped a couple of bullets. Which, actually, maybe I can give you guys a... Well, I'm gonna kill this first, because I'm just afraid of him. Die. Alright. Problem solved. Alright, see? Demolitionist arrived. I'm gonna have to build a couple more homes. But the Undertaker, 15 range damage, and it uses bullets, which are an additional 7. So the way ranged weapons work is it's 15 plus 7 for a total of 22 damage. It's a fast speed, so it's really... You know what? As you can see, it does... I mean, it's only single target, but it does pretty good damage. And it's at range, fires pretty fast. Let's put it out here. Swiftness potion, healing potion. And we're in luck. We can see, if we get closer to that, we can probably mouse over it, see what on earth it's actually called. Barring that, if you press M, it brings up your map. Okay, it's called a shadow orb because it hasn't been patched for it, but... So you can kind of see the way it's kind of like a central chamber with different spokes. So, let's see if I can... I'm actually going... Gel and bombs, you can make sticky bombs. Kind of useful if you're having trouble placing a bomb exactly where you want it. So it just sticks. Run away, and voila. One here. Oh boy, I don't want to be there. And the bomb accidentally broke. The bomb accidentally broke the orb, so now I do not want to break a third shadow orb, or else I'll be facing the Brain of Cthulhu, and I know I'm not ready for it. But it dropped a crimson rod and some rope. I see 2 heart things down here, so I'm just going to go ahead and mine my way down. And then we'll go fight we'll go set up our arena for fighting the Eye of Cthulhu. Alright, almost there. Eventually you do get a pickaxe that can mine through this stone, and it makes things a lot better. Let's see. Oh, the Crimson Rod. Summons a cloud to rain blood on your foes. Lovely. Well, I'm all in favor of death blood. So there you go. These little drops will hurt my opponents, doesn't hurt me. You can summon one cloud at a time. But that's kind of nice. You can use it and then continue on your way fighting. Kind of spiffy. Ah! And it can rain through. Nice. So that actually does pretty decent damage as well. Gives the tiniest amount of light. Nothing too fancy. Let's shed some light on here so you guys can actually see what's going on, eh? Alright. Grab a couple more heart containers, use them up, and I think for this case, maybe I can get back up. I'm going to try to get home. That should be good. Alright. Music here is kind of creepy, but kind of awesome. Makes me feel, you know, like I'm in an evil place, which kind of feels like I'm in the lab of a mad scientist. Yeah. Keep going. Up and away! Run! So again, if you guys don't have rope, like if you're playing on the console version, for example, or just an older, unupdated version, there's a couple of tricks you can do if you know you're going to be falling somewhere. Water at the bottom of your fall is generally one of the better tricks. Barring that, cobweb you can find sometimes underground, and that you can use cobweb to... There we go. You can use cobweb, like, set it down before you begin your descent up, and when you fall into cobweb, it will break your fall. So, without further ado, let's get back home. Kill an Eskimo zombie. Also, I don't know if you had noticed, but some of the enemies we killed in the Crimson dropped vertebrae rather. Those can be used to craft a spinal column, which, similar to the suspicious-looking eye, can be used to summon a boss. Where the suspicious eye summons the Eye of Cthulhu, the spinal column in my game, because I'm in the Crimson, would summon the Brain of Cthulhu. In the corruption version of the game, you collect rot meat chunks or something? I can't remember exactly, but you collect chunks of meat and vile mushrooms, which you combine together to make worm food, which summons the Devourer of Worlds. So, a few differences depending on what world gen decides to give you. But very similar in purpose. They both drop ore, and then tissue samples or shadow scales, which is what's needed to craft either Crimson tier or Nightmare tier equipment. Once you can get a full set in either Crimson or Nightmare, then you're ready to start thinking about going into hard mode. Well, actually, not true. Once you have that, you probably want to make a bid for Lava tier, which is down in Hell, which we'll get to after we fight a couple of bosses. But once you have that full Nightmare or full Crimson tier, you're well on your way towards hard mode. And the game just gets even more crazy in hard mode. A lot of new enemy spawns, a lot of fun stuff. Alrighty. So, I don't want to fight Cthulhu yet, because I now have the Eye of Cthulhu is a giant eyeball that flies around. You want a ranged weapon to kill him, so getting the Undertaker was excellent, but I only have 18 bullets. You need something like a couple hundred bullets if you want to kill him. So I don't have enough pumpkin to make a full additional pumpkin home, so I'm going to go ahead and just make a traditional wood house above these guys here. Because I need the... Oh, hey, a meteorite landed. So that's something else about... Once you've destroyed your first orb, you unlock new events that can happen. A goblin invasion can now happen, which, if it happens, I'll talk you guys through it, but it's basically a lot of goblins that just all want to kill you. Meteorites will land, and that changes a portion of the surface into meteorite ore, which is actually a really strong ore and good if you want to be a mage. It generally has, like, magic spells, do less damage, that sort of thing. Let's see what else can happen. And I think there's a couple other events I can't remember off the top of my head, but if they happen, I'll walk you guys through them. Alright, I'm gonna make myself a pumpkin pie just for later. As always, good practice, you come back to base, just do a nice quick stack. If you got a lot of ore, you might as well craft it. I got a lot of platinum ore. I don't remember having that much, but I'm not going to complain. The most important thing for fighting the Eye of Cthulhu is a good offense, simply because you can build an arena, but all the extra defense you can have is, you know, not going to go amiss. So with this all in mind, platinum. I already have platinum weaponry in here. If I hadn't gotten the Undertaker, I probably would have made a platinum bow, which makes arrows. But I think it's time to say goodbye to my pumpkin head. Yes. 5 defense, so that will bring my total defense up by a fair bit. Yeah, up to 10. So now I take 3 less damage. It was a good pumpkin head, though. Alright. Back to a bit more inventory management here. I know that it can be kind of the boring part of a stream, so I'll try not to spend too much time on it, but, you know, these things have to be done. I tend to store my boss crafting and summonables in one chest with just all my high value sort of things, to each their own. I'm going to put these over here. I'm going to keep the pumpkin head though, because it's fun. I already have a Hermes boots, so I'm not going to keep another one. Put the platinum bar away. I need wood. I'll put my pumpkin supplies away. Keep a hammer with me. I don't need to keep holding mushrooms. They should be deposited. The grenade It doesn't destroy tiles. It's a high damage weapon. Maybe I'll keep it around, show you too. I often don't use it. Maybe I should, because it could accelerate your damage. I don't think I'll be able to get a hit on the Eye of Cthulhu. Maybe I'll use them when I'm fighting the Brain of Cthulhu. We'll see. Got a lot of stone block. Actually, I could actually make a castle. Why don't I do that? All right. First, though, let's. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna make 2 more stories, so I need a bunch more doors. All right. So I'm gonna make a bunch of gray brick. It just uses up a lot of stone. I mean, when you're digging, you're going to have a lot of stone, so I'm not too, frankly, worried about building a bunch of this. Alright, now, some gray brick wall. Should be plenty. Okay, now I can build my castle to my heart's content. Go! Do I not have a torch? There we go. Always put a light up. Don't want to work in the dark. Not as much fun to see what's going on. Alright. So, once I have these houses up, we'll wait for the, oh! You remember how I told you guys about that goblin army? Down here, we see a goblin army is approaching from the east. In Terraria, west is left and east is right. So what this means is in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to get swarmed with goblins. I'm not really prepared for it, so this is probably going to end up rather disappointing. Goblins, I do believe, can open doors. They can do all sorts of nasty things. So, oh, yep, there we go. So, I don't really feel like fighting the goblin army because, actually, yeah. So, goblins are evil, mean, and this event, so you just get attacked. Actually, I do want to kill the goblins because they drop spiky balls, but this is going to be a little tough. So, what do? We run away for a second, we cast a rain cloud, and we let it do the work for us. Alright, so, basically these goblins just keep spawning and being the bane of your existence until you kill, I don't even remember how many of them, but I think it's based on world size, so large worlds you have to kill more, but they keep on spawning and you keep slaughtering until the entire goblin army is bloody giblets at your feet. Or, you know, you are bloody giblets at the goblin's feet, take your pick. So you've got goblin warriors, more health, move fat, a little slower. You've got these peons that rush you. You have archers that will give you a really bad day. It's a lovely just assortment of goblin-y goodness. So I'm trying to keep them under my rain cloud because that, as you can see, really ups my DPS, damage per second for non-gamers. But yeah. Later on, you have better ways of dealing with these guys. Early, though, they just run amok. They do drop a lot of spike balls, which will be useful for fighting another boss. I'm gonna eat my pumpkin pie and actually heal up a little bit. If you really don't want to fight a goblin, you don't have to. You can just run from your base. But I wanted to give it a shot, so that's what we're doing. And this, I think, is a perfect opportunity to go, cool, it does damage on impact. So, that's a grenade for you. I do not want to drop that. I'm going to run away a little bit here because I'm dying. So, if you really don't want to fight the goblins, you can just run away from home base. And not as many spawn. So it's... It's a solution. Maybe not a good one, but it works. La 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 la. Alright, cool, I can heal again. So. Yeah. You can cancel out... You can't cancel out arrows, but you can cancel out a magical ball with a well-timed swing. Which is good, because those magical balls can just really mess up your day. Alright. It seems I have a nice cluster of... I'm out of so, I don't have a lot of mana early game. But for now, the AI seems to be content to just sit there. Except for this guy here. And I'll send him off the ledge. So often you can find ways to exploit the terrain to your advantage. In this case... That didn't work out so well. But I can let these goblins just chill in the rain here. Alright. So another option I might be able to do here. Basically, dig a pit and see how many goblins I can trap in said pit. It probably won't work until the pit's a little bit deeper. Alright. So, my thought process here is dig a pit, get all the goblins to fall in the pit, put a rain cloud over the pit, and murder goblins. Time will tell if it's a good idea. I personally thought it was pretty good, and there we go. Aha! Hey, I got a harpoon. So, harpoon, auto fires, does a pretty good damage, but if you miss it takes a long time to recoil. So, might not always be the most appropriate weapon to use. As soon as okay. And while I'm dead, they will all swarm to my corpse. So, fall in. Oh, nope. So, there is a method to my madness here. I know I'm going to die, but if I can get them all to swarm in the pit. So the nice thing here is, since I'm playing on easy mode, you drop a few coins on death, but you can just pick them up on your next death. They don't go anywhere. And I can farm a couple of goodie bags too. You know, not such a bad thing all in all. Just keep raining goblins. Actually, I could probably even get fancier. So... That magic cloud does a lot of damage for early game. It's actually really useful. What I'm thinking, I might be able to... I might be able to build a small home, or like just dirt cage, for lack of anything better, that I can hide in. Although I don't know if I can cast a cloud above me. Another harpoon. Alright, as soon as I get back in, I need to slaughter a few more goblins here. It's nice that they corral themselves so nice for me. Alright, raining on the goblins parade. Alright. Throw everything in the pit. Knock them back. Just keep knocking everything back into the pit. And or killing it. So there's a lot of goblins. Get on the other side of the pit and knock them all in. Go. Eventually the archers will still murder me, but there's probably quite a bit of good stuff done. And yes, see? So this is what a goblin invasion goes on for. Often what you want, eventually, I just didn't have it prepped yet, and you might want to do this before you start breaking shadow orbs, is prep something like this, or your own equivalent plan, so that when the goblins come and spawn, they just die. But, you know, sometimes it is kind of fun to just fight off a giant goblin horde. There we go. Keep slaughtering all the goblins. Alright, see? And the bottom left, a goblin army's been defeated, which means all that's left are the ones that are currently on screen. After they're gone, victory is mine. And we can all live a happy life. So I just have an archer I need to take care of. There we go. Alright. So, the loot. We got several spiky balls, a lot of... Actually, we got a full gold coin from that event. Not bad. Not bad. I'm going to run over here, pick up all my other stuff. So that event will not happen until you've already... another gold coin. Nice. That event will not occur until you've broken a shadow orb. So if you want to make sure you don't want to go through that giant goblin apocalypse, just make sure that you don't smash any shadow orbs until you're ready for it. With that in mind, we want to fight an Eye of Cthulhu here. So it's looking more and more like that might be episode 5. But we'll get everything set up for it, so episode 5 might just be the grand and glorious battle, where our heroic karate tortoise faces off against the mighty villainous Cthulhu. Alright. That in mind, I want a couple wood platforms. Gonna build my castle so I can get... It's daytime, so... I know for a fact there's at least one more NPC. General rule of thumb, you always want to have 1 or 2 homes available for NPCs, so that if you... Because if you're like me and you don't... Well, I actually have some of their requirements memorized now, but if you don't know what will bring them, you always want to have a couple open homes so that when you do meet the requirements, they just move right in. So, here we've got 2 more homes. If you press escape and go over to this home button here, it shows you who's living where, and if you click the question mark, it tells you this housing suitable. See, my arms dealer just moved in. Right click, you click on housing again, it goes back to your normal. But I now have an arms dealer, so just gonna build up 1 more level of housing here. And then I think we're going to want to build our Eye of Cthulhu fighting platform. And the easiest arena I'm aware of, there might be better strategies out there, but you want something long and flat, so you can run back and forth, avoid the Eye of Cthulhu, and shoot it like there's no tomorrow. So... Oh, that is not the wall I wanted. There we go. I don't think NPCs can swim through solid stone. That'd be awesome if they could. I think that'd be awesome if I could, but, you know. Such is life. Alright. Whee! That was a little sloppy of me, but oh well. Okay. I think we have the wall all done. Put some torches up in here. You can get fancy, but as long as there's a light source, it doesn't... The NPCs are happy as long as it's any light source. If you want to create an awesome castle, by all means, use something nicer. Ah, a painter showed up. So, see what I mean? There's all sorts of people. And enemies have a chance of dropping banners. They're just cosmetics. I hang up wherever. That was from the Goblin Sorcerer. The harpoon I picked up, it does a lot of damage, and it's actually kind of useful against the Eye of Cthulhu if it's up close. So the way it works, it fires out this harpoon that eventually comes back. However, if your target's far away, close, it hits rapid fire. So you can hear that. That's really a lot of damage at 25 shots a pop. So that's another way you can fight Cthulhu. Get really close and just wail away on Cthulhu. You generally take a little bit more damage that way, so, you know, if you have good armor, let's see what we got in the goodie bag. Robots. Robot and... I think I'll stay the karate tortoise. Perhaps next episode, I will be the fearsome 0011000111 awesome bot. Alright. Stack everything away. Always remember, a little bit of inventory management goes a long way. I'm actually going to take... So if you right-click on an item, you draw just one from the stack usually, unless it's like a usable item, like the goodie bag. Talk over to my arms dealer. He also sells a nurse's outfit during the Halloween season. Really kind of creepy and weird. Pretty sure he's got a crush on the nurse, but what the hell is he doing with her outfit? I'll let you guys think about that one. But you can buy a pistol from him. My pistol is better. You can buy a mini shark from him, but it's 35 gold. I'm gonna just buy a bunch of ammo. I'm not using arrows right now. There. That should be absolutely plenty of ammunition. Yeah, I've got 1,400 bullets. That should be plenty to take on the Eye of Cthulhu. There's my painter over there. I actually haven't played much with him, but maybe we'll give it a shot later. Spiky balls, I will talk more about later when we're fighting Skeletron, the third boss you'll likely face, but they are useful to keep around. Grave marker I don't want. Keep those around. I'm going to sell off my seeds. Again, inventory management. Not always the most interesting, but one of those things that just has to be done every once in a while. I might buy a few more flares, because the flare gun is really kind of useful to keep around. Put my robot outfit away for now, since I am a mighty turtle. Why would I... Or I am a mighty tortoise. Why would I seek to be a robot? Alright. And I'm going to buy as many flares as 28 silver can get me. Blue flare or a flare. Blue is cool, but I find just the normal color lights things up a little better, so buy a bunch of those. There we go. Got 400 flares, some flaming arrows, which I don't need right now, so I'm going to deposit my flaming arrows. You can craft flaming arrows from arrows, gives them an extra 2 damage. They can light your enemy on fire, which does a little bit of damage over time. It's one of if you don't have a gun and you just have arrows, it's not expensive. You can a torch plus an arrow makes flaming arrows. It's like one torch gives you 10 flaming arrows, so it's really kind of useful to make. Again, you don't have to, but every little bit of DPS when you're fighting enemies or a boss especially helps. So now I need some wood. So my general attack plan is make a long wooden platform out of wood platforms. The reason I'm using wood platforms rather than some solid wall type material, and actually I might do a hybrid, but looks like my painter fell down on my trap. Okay. The reason is bullets go through wood platforms, so I can stand up on a platform, and if the Eye of Cthulhu flies down through it, I can still shoot him while running for my dear sweet life. So that's the reason why. I might actually keep a couple as actual platforms, because you can't place torches on platforms when I place torches on solid objects, and I'd like to see what I'm doing. Yeah. I've seen much more elaborate things than what I do, but for the sake of time and just showing you guys, this should be simple enough. And this way it doesn't take all night. I see the zombies have started moving in. Die, you annoying zombie. Alright. So, shooting stars, if you gather enough of them, you can actually make mana crystals. So, if you look over up here, I currently have 20 mana. That's not a lot. It doesn't do a lot, but at least it's something. Every mana crystal increases your maximum mana by 20, up to a cap of 200. So if you want to be a mage and use all the awesome spells in the game, then you're going to be looking for mana crystals. Also, this platform I'm about to construct is quite handy there as well. If it's long enough, stars will fall every night, but they disappear by morning. So if you want to collect stars, you basically just want to run along the surface. If you have a platform up in the sky, those falling stars will fall and land on your platform, and it's really easy to just run back and forth on a platform looking for stars. Alright, I think I have enough wood to make my platform. Got another shackle. 3 defense, that's actually a really pretty solid modifier, what I currently have. 3 move speed. Movement speed is nice, but at this point in the game, 3 defense, that's 1 less damage taken every single time. It adds up quite a bit. So, while I'm running back to base, gonna craft a bunch of wooden platforms here. 99 wooden platforms, gonna craft 99 more. So now that we have our platforms, we kind of want to figure out where do we want to make our arena. Generally, you don't want it right next to your base because that'll kill off your NPCs, but you don't want it too far from your base for convenience sake. I have a perfect place right here, however. So that's what we're going to go with. I'm just going to make it off here. Let's throw a torch so you guys can see what I'm doing here. And my basic plan is every so often, I don't think I really need a machete equipped if I have a harpoon. I'm going to put 1 wood block every so often, put a torch on it, and keep going. This way we can see what's going on, but it doesn't disrupt our flow in combat too much. And you want to have, it's one of those things like the longer the better. The longer the platform, the better for fighting a boss. So you really don't want to skimp. This is definitely you want your platform to be at a bare minimum 1 full screen width. Actually, granted, I'm playing at 1080p, or downsizing to 720p for you viewers, but you want it to be at least a good full screen length or more, just so that you have room to run and such. Now, I can actually show you why particularly platforms. Bullets go down through, but I'm standing up here. Makes it a lot easier when the Eye of Cthulhu is being annoying. And since the star is so conveniently close, I will grab it. And just keep on building out our little wooden home here. All the while trying to avoid the demon eye. Demon eyes aren't, first thing in the game, they're dangerous because you have no armor. They can kill you. Later, honestly, the biggest thing they could do is knock me off the platform, which actually would kill me, so I should probably just take care of them. There we go. So, the harpoon doesn't work so well if you miss. But, there we go. Pull out my Undertaker here. There. we'll just pretend you guys didn't see me miss 5 times in a row. Okay. More platforms. I need another wood block here for my torch. And so it's kind of like... And later, for some of the other hard mode bosses, you can expand on this. You can add 2 layers. You can make 1 layer solid if you need to. It gives you a nice, easy platform to do stuff with. Alrighty. My torch is up. Forgot about that. Oh boy. That could have been dangerous. Unfortunately, demon eyes can fly through these platforms as well, so, you know. Might be able to actually fight 2 Eyes of Cthulhu. That could be pretty useful. I think all I need is like one more demon eye. Let's see if that takes care of the problem. That took care of one of them. That actually seemed to do a pretty good job. First time of getting this item, it's actually a pretty cool item. I believe it can be upgraded later. So you can tell that my platform's getting long enough that zombies are now spawning off of the edge of it. So that means I probably got it pretty close to long enough. I'm just going to use up these platforms so that I have a nice, easy time of it. And then, because this nighttime is almost over, we won't be fighting Cthulhu this day-night cycle. The way the Eye of Cthulhu works, you can summon it anytime at night, but the minute it turns daytime, if you haven't defeated it, it just runs away. That was cool. Knocked him off the platform. So, you generally want to summon the Eye of Cthulhu as early and at the very beginning of nighttime, so you have the entire evening to work it down if you have to. Run away! Okay. So, out of platform, but I think this is enough. Let's just throw my torches down. There we go. So, this way I have a nice, long, irregularly spaced torch-lit platform to run back and forth on while fighting Cthulhu. Okay. So, now we have our base of operations. We have our weapon, or your choice of weapons. If you want to get fancy, you can add a couple of different ropes in case you get knocked down. I don't know how necessary that is, but we're going to have some fun with it. You can actually see on the minimap there, my rope is almost all the way to the ground. There we go. So, now if I fall down in the middle of the map, I can well, I can't say easily get up, because an Eye of Cthulhu trying to kill you, you're going to keep getting knocked down, but it's a start. Alrighty. So again, you can actually see the mini-map. 2 different ropes. I ran out of rope, but that's a good enough start. Okay. Alright. And the map, I don't know if console people have it. I believe a lot of its functionality was added in 1.2. So, I apologize if you guys don't have that feature. But it's a cool feature. You can take my word for it. Alright. So while we're waiting, we can start, well, do some inventory management, of course, and start prepping. Swiftness potion, movement speed is always a good thing. Iron skin potion, a must. So let's kind of look through. Night owl potion we shouldn't really need since I'm on a lit platform. I don't need to water walk. Featherfall potion, you fall a little slower, may or may not be useful. Healing potions, I have 1 uber healing potion, that's not a lot. So I might... I don't think I have any sand. I do. So, with sand, you can craft glass, which if you want to make windows, you can. But the reason I wanted glass, you can make a glass wall. Oh, looks like you can make a glass platform. That's kind of cool. You can make a glass bottle. If you put a bottle on a workstation, you now have an alchemy station. I think you also need a chair to be there. But if you have all the right ingredients, so you can make a glass table, a glass door. That's actually kind of cool. Maybe I should make a house of glass one of these days. Should be my next themed building, eh? Alright. I do believe glowing mushroom plus lesser health potions allows me to make better health potions, maybe? Yes. Alright. So, lesser healing potion plus a glowing mushroom makes a larger healing potion. It's a lossy process 2 to 1, but since you have that cooldown timer, you want to drink as good of a potion as possible. This is why I have 7 pretty good healing potions. I have these if I get desperate. Alrighty. Inventory management. I'm gonna get rid of those. Put that back there. I have 2 harpoons. I don't need 2 harpoons, so I'm gonna sell 1 harpoon off. Alright. I feel like I had one more potion that was important to me. I think I quick stacked it away. I did. Alright, swiftness potion. There we go. So those are kind of your general cases. I'm actually going to make another pumpkin pie. It gives you just a general improvement to all stats with the well-fed buff. It's not a huge buff, but when fighting a boss, every little edge is useful. So you kind of want to take advantage of every possible thing you can get. I think that's more or less it for boss fighting buffs, though. At least easily available. So, let's talk to a merchant. So, okay. I don't think you guys have met many of these NPCs yet. This is Amy the nurse. Apparently she has a crush on Darius, the arms dealer. Heal. I'm full health, so she'll say waste my time. If you have health missing, you can click, she'll charge you a little bit depending on how much health you're missing, and she can full heal you. Bullet hole or grenade hole. Yeah, so this is the demolitionist. He sells grenades, bombs, and dynamite. Dynamite's very expensive at 1 gold 50 silver, but it can blow up crimson or corruption, which actually bombs can too. So it's dynamite gets the job done quickly, and it does a lot of damage. I don't know exactly how much damage, but enough to make you not want to be near it if it goes off. You already met Darius, the arms dealer, and this is Raphael, the painter. Sells a bunch of different paint colors: paint roller, paint brush, paint scraper. You can paint your buildings different colors if you wish. So, if you want to just kind of go with a basic wood outfit and you like that texture, you can paint it. I haven't played with it much. He also sells a couple of paintings you can hang up. Again, I haven't played with it too much since I'm generally not the biggest base builder. I tend to play for the exploration and combat, but any NPC that sells you stuff will buy stuff. So, I'm just going to sell them off. Even though they have no value, I just want to get rid of them. The minute I close the inventory, it's gone. So, you can buy things back for the exact same price you sold it to the NPC for, as long as you don't close out the conversation window. So, be careful when you're buying and selling that you don't sell off something that you really will miss later. Alright. So I have a suspicious looking eye, and I have 6 more lenses. Since we're waiting anyways, actually, there's one other thing we could do. I'm exploring. So, something that was added in patch 1.2 was bonfires. Or campfire, rather. It takes 20 wood, 5 torches. I've got plenty of torches right now. Actually, I should make some more torches. But when you're nearby a campfire, you regen your life just a little bit slower. Or a little bit faster. It's not a lot, but again, when fighting, every little bit helps. And, you know, if you're out of combat and you just don't feel like spending money on the nurse, you can sit by a bonfire for 30-40 seconds instead. Also, though, while I'm here, Gonna make a few more torches. Alright. Now I have more than enough torches, but no more wood. Gel away. There's a couple of nice trees I can chop up here. Okay. So, tall trees are kind of nice. They take about the same amount of time to chop as a short tree, but you get a lot better return on investment on in your time. Unfortunately, I haven't noticed planted trees to ever grow as tall as the original trees. Maybe I just haven't waited long enough. Maybe it's been changed in the latest patch and I just haven't spent enough time looking, but even so, you know, keep replanting your trees every now and again. It's important if you don't want to run out of resources. Although you don't have to, by no means do you have to plant every single, there we go. You don't have to plant every single acorn you get. Alright. So now I have plenty of wood. I'm going to make myself a bonfire, or a campfire rather. Actually, I'm going to make two. I'm going to put one. I don't know if you can put, aha, you can. So campfires, actually, I didn't need the solid brick at all then, because campfires provide light as well. Well, let's see, how far is the campfire buff? So the campfire buff doesn't actually go very, oh. I'm at full health, so I don't take, alright. There we go. Now I'm damaged. That's really strange. Supposed to be, I should be seeing a buff up here saying the campfire is healing you. Wonder if I have to be on solid ground or something. This is different. Well, we are exploring, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. So for some reason, okay, I am healing faster, it just doesn't tell me there's a buff next to it. So if you look, my health is counting up faster when I'm... So we're just gonna put a couple of bonfires out somewhere. Again, it's not a perfect solution, but you actually could, if you really wanted to, just put bonfires the entire length. That would give you a little more regen. I'm not going to do that because that would take way too long. So we're off to the Crimson. One nice thing about planting that rope is when I get to the end. Whee! Alright. And you want to be careful when you're on a platform. If you press down, you will fall through the platform. Which, if that's what you want to do, cool. If that's not what you wanted to do, and you're that high up, it might very well end with you going splat. I see there's a blood crawler to greet me. Go away. There we go. And we have a face monster here. Dropped a vertebrae again. Alright, let's make another Eye of Cthulhu. And get back out of here. Yep. There. I could probably clean that up a little bit. It's a bit sloppily done, but... Alright, it's almost nighttime actually, so we're gonna run on back to base. As soon as it's night and we're full health, we will want to try and take on the Eye of Cthulhu. So. Running through the snow. Okay. Up we go! It'd probably be faster just to run the other way, but this is a nice straight shot. Okay. Careful not to jump off the mountain and kill myself. So, I now have one Eye of Cthulhu in my inventory. I'm gonna hold on to one Eye of Cthulhu, so eventually, when I have my boss fight, I will murder the Cthulhu. So, keep one eye around. And I think we are ready, as we will ever be, to fight this boss. unfortunately, I've got to go for a little bit, so we'll have to wait for episode 5 for the climactic battle. Stay tuned to see if the karate tortoise will be successful against the evil and vicious Eye of Cthulhu. Take care, everyone, and have a good one.